Hey guys, Mason here. Welcome back to the Sweet Spot, where I create delicious desserts that you guys can follow along with at home. As always, the full written recipe and list of ingredients are down below in the description box. Also, while you're down there, if you want to join the family, just click that subscribe button and you'll get 2 new videos every week. Alright, so to continue our Halloween series, today we're going to be making French macarons. And I know that they may seem a little daunting. A lot of people feel like it takes 100 tries before you get the perfect batch, but I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. They are a little bit more difficult, and they do take a little bit more time to master, but they are one of the most fun things to make. So, if you all want the recipe, stick around and we'll get started. Alright, to get started, we do have a list of our ingredients. And now, where this is a European recipe, you can convert these all to cups, but it's just easier to keep them in grams, and for that, I just have a small kitchen scale. And so to get started, we have 60 grams of egg whites that are at room temperature that we separated yesterday and let sit in the fridge to age. That will help them to whip up a lot better, a lot stronger. We have 75 grams of almond flour that we're going to process in a food processor with 85 grams of powdered sugar. And then we have 55 grams of granulated sugar, an 1/8 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and food coloring of your choice and sprinkles of your choice if you choose to use sprinkles on the tops of your shells. All right, let's get started. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is combine our almond flour and our powdered sugar together. And now, even though this is super fine almond flour, we're still going to have to mix it in our food processor to break it down into even smaller pieces, because this is almonds that has been processed down, so there are bound to be larger chunks in there that we're going to have to get rid of. For that, I just have my food processor. Dump it all in. We're just going to process this down a couple times. This is pretty fine. So, what we're going to do now, take a fine mesh sieve, and we're going to sieve all these through. And it's really important that this is as fine as we can get it, because this will help our macaron shells to rise and there won't be any lumps in them at all. And there are some smaller almond pieces, so we're just going to discard those. Sieve it again back into another bowl. We're just going to go back and forth until we have it as fine as we possibly can get it. Now, if you'll follow me over to the mixer, we'll start whipping up our egg whites. Alright, now in our stand mixer, we're going to put our egg whites in and start whipping them. We really want to start off slow here because we're building up the protein structure in the eggs. Alright, we're going to add in our cream of tartar. Now we're going to stop this a second, and since I am making orange and I don't have orange, I'm just going to mix red and yellow together. So what we're going to do is do 2 drops of yellow and 1 drop of red. Perfect. Alright, so now we're going to slowly add in our granulated sugar. All right, now we're at the most important stage. We've whipped our egg whites. Now we're going to start combining our almond flour, powdered sugar with our egg whites, and we're going to just slowly take about 1/3 of the mixture, fold it through. Go around the outside, once through the middle. Around the outside, once through the middle. Add a little bit more. There are some recipes, and I think they're a little crazy, when they say fold 35 times, fold 42 times. That's taking a little far to me, just because it depends on the humidity, it depends on how stiff of peaks you got. You have to factor in a lot of things. And I think that it's honestly just important to go by the texture of the macarons themselves. You want them to be lava-like. When it falls off of your spoon, it falls off into a ribbon. And that might sound a little crazy as well, but if you stick with me, I'll show you what I mean by that. And you don't want it, this is called macaronage, so this is like very, very important. You don't want to overbeat here. And anytime that people mess up, 90% of the time it's at this stage. You just want to go around the outside and through the middle. Around the outside and through the middle. It will combine, it will add itself. So don't worry about seeing streaks and mixing them in too hard. You want to take this slow. Okay. A little bit more. Around the outside and through the middle. Around the outside and through the middle. Okay. Now this is all important. We'll give this a final mix through, a fold through, and then we'll see what stage we're at. And if it needs to be thinner, then we'll fold it a couple more times. If it needs to be thicker, then we're out of luck. So bear with me. So that's too thick. So let's fold it a couple more times. It is flowing in ribbons. It's still a little bit too thick, so let's fold it a couple more times. That is perfect. Now, we're going to put this into our piping bag and pipe these out. Be right back. All right, we've got our batter fitted into our bag. And I'm using a Wilton number 12 round tip. So when you're piping these, you want to pipe them at a 90-degree angle. When you get to the top, swirl it around and pull it up. All right, perfect. Now we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6. We've got about 13 to 14 cookies here. Now that we've gotten them all piped out, what we're going to do, I actually can fit one more, I think, right here. And that's just because I had an odd number. So whatever you're piping, you're gonna wanna pipe an even number. Depending on the size that you make them, you can get more, you can get less. These are about 1 inch in diameter, so they're quite small. But once you get them all piped out, you want an even amount because this is going to be, these are sandwich cookies, so you're gonna have to have a top and a bottom half. So now that we've got them all piped out, we're gonna wrap them against the counter a couple of times to make sure that any of the air that's in these rises to the top and they don't explode while they're in the oven. So there's 3 that way. Let's do it this way. 2 that way. 3 that way, and 2 more this way. And if you were close up enough, you could see that actually some of the air that was in them has come to the top and those little bubbles have popped. Now if you see any larger bubbles, you can actually take a skewer or a toothpick and poke those. I'm not gonna lie, you all, even though these are a little bit more time consuming, this is probably one of my favorite things to make. This is one of the things that I tried to master when I started seriously baking. So they kind of hold a special place in my heart. But I implore you all, even though it is a challenge, it's totally worth it in the end because they're so cute, they're so much fun to make. Alright, so now that I think we've gotten all the air bubbles, we're going to let these sit on our counter for at least 30 minutes, up to an hour. But it honestly depends on the humidity in your house, where you live in the world. But these are gonna form a skin. I know that sounds kind of gross, but when we touch the tops of these, they won't stick to our finger. There'll be a nice, shiny, glossy top that we can touch and it doesn't adhere to anything. So we're gonna let these sit out and we'll be back once those are done. All right, now that our macarons have developed that skin that I was talking about, we're going to put them into our oven that's been preheated to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're gonna flip them halfway through at about 5 minutes and bake them off completely for about 10 to 12 minutes. I'll see you guys when we get them out of the oven. Hopefully we'll have wonderful feet, fingers crossed. All right, you guys, these are out of the oven and dry. Look at the feet on those. How cute are they? Love them. Okay, they've risen. They have a nice foot along the bottom. They have a nice flat top. There's no bumps. I added some sprinkles on the top while they were drying. I thought that would be cute. Now we're going to assemble them. I have a thing of buttercream. If you all would like the recipe for my buttercream, leave me a comment down below and let me know, okay? I have just buttercream that's not been colored. And then I have some that's been colored gray. And I have some couplers on the end of each because we're going to trade these out. This is the same Wilton number 12 round tip that we've got on both that we're going to use on both of them. So to get started, we're going to try and match up our macarons as best as possible. All right, perfect. Now what I'm going to do, so I can get this cute pattern, and I'm going to pipe dollops, but space them out evenly. Because like that, because we're gonna go back in with the gray and pipe the others into the spaces. How cute are those, you all? How cute. And I even have a little idea to show you to give as a gift. And I found this little box at my house. I've got, you know, the tissue paper done in it. These are so cute to display like this. You can even take another little piece of tissue, put it over the top, you know, close that up, give these as a nice little gift. How adorable. What'd you guys think? I love the texture of these cookies. Like I said earlier, they're so easy to customize. You can make them any color, any flavor that you want. What I like to do in the summertime is add lemon extract to the shells and do lemon curd on the inside. Really nice, really tart. And then in the center of the lemon curd is a nice dollop of buttercream. It balances everything out. Like I said, this cookie is the most versatile cookie out there. It's a sandwich cookie, it's adorable. The chewiness is on point. So good. That's all we've got for this video. But if you want 2 more wonderful recipes next week and every week from now on, click the subscribe button down below. What are you waiting for? Also, if you want more recipes like this, give me a thumbs up. I'm really wanting to grow my channel. I would love to do this full time in the future. This is something I do after I get off of work every day. And it's something I love doing. It does take a lot of time and a lot of energy, but it's so worth it seeing the reaction from you guys. From my home to yours. Enjoy.